Hey everyone, I'm Javi, I can draw. This is the second video of my week's mission. This mission is hands. I know that you're already seeing that on the title, but anyway. If you've seen yesterday's video, link is going to be somewhere around here. I tried to draw hands the way I've always drawn hands, which is by using this kind of volume-based approach, which is by just drawing like a big square for the palm of the hand and little cylinders for the fingers. It wasn't working a lot for me. I had to work on my proportions and I had to work on the way the hand naturally moves, which is not as easy as it looks. So what I decided to do was do some research. I started looking on the web for the best tutorials, videos, text, anything I could find that could help me figure out how to draw hands. The kind of tutorials and videos and explanations that I found I kind of split in two. The first approach that is taking is the one that I used on yesterday's video. It's like purely volume based and it has to do with what I talked about, like the square and the cylinders and all of that. I found great videos like from Jasa, one from Jim Lee at an expo. Jim Lee is a great comic book artist. I'm sure that you've seen like 1,000 drawings made by him. He's great and he's good at drawing hands and he has some good advice in the video. You know, also Andrew Loomis, which is like one of the gods of anatomical illustration, explains how to draw hands this way. Another tutorial by Makani that it's on the Tumblr blog. And these are great explanations. It doesn't improve a lot on what I thought I knew. But then, and here it gets interesting, I found another approach on how to draw hands. And I'm going to name this approach the mitten approach. What it really talks about is that you have to approach the hand as if you had a mitten on. Like the whole fingers are just one volume. That once you figure out what movement that volume is making, you start using the anatomical volume-based approach to figure out what the fingers are going to do. But first you treat them as one volume. There are two really good tutorials, one by Kimi, she's a great artist, and one by Shinkworks that are basically two of my favorite tutorials on how to draw hands, and there are also some really good videos by Sikra and by Mark Creeley. All of these channels that I'm recommending with videos are really good channels about learning how to draw. I know that they're supposed to be like my competition or whatever, but they're good. If they're doing great material, I love sharing it. On top of this mitten-based approach, there is something else that some artists talk about that I found pretty interesting. That even when you're splitting the volume of the fingers, like you're trying to figure out these 4 fingers, you will see that these 2 fingers are always closer to each other. So once you figure out the first volume, the mitten volume, you can try to figure out these 2 with these 2 in the middle as one volume and then work them out. There's like first step, the mitten. Second step, fingers, but these 2 together. And then the third step, these 4 apart. Is that clear? And finally I found like some tutorial that it's in a language that I don't understand, but I'm going to link it anyway, that talks about approaching the hand as if the hand was a piece of paper, like a folded paper. It's kind of like the mitten approach, but when I saw the tutorial I was like, oh, this is interesting, so I'm going to try to use that to figure out how to draw hands as well. This is a very short video. You need to know this. All the tutorials I just mentioned are going to be linked below on the link that says all links here. 2 dots. There you will be able to find links to all the tutorials I mentioned and also to a Pinterest folder where I have the other tutorials and reference and things that I found that I think that are useful and that you might find useful as well. On the next video I'm going to find some reference photos and I'm going to start drawing on top of them and besides them and trying to use these 3 approaches, being the anatomical one, the mitten, and the weird folded paper that I don't know if it actually works, but still I'm going to try it and to finally figure out how to draw hands. So stay with me, subscribe so you can get noticed when the next video shows up. I am Javi, I can draw. I'm sure that you can draw too, and by the end of this, I'm happy I can draw. I'm sure that you can draw too. And by the end of this video, we will be all drawing hands like experts. Bye!